Hello and welcome to this week's Investing Report. I'm Phil Pustejovsky coming to you live from my back patio. Got the pool, the hot tub screened in, got the palm trees back there. I've actually got you see a fence and the netting. That's to protect my one-year-old from the pool. Okay, let's talk about what's going on in the investing world. Number one, if you've been watching the news, if you followed anything in the real estate world in the last 2 weeks, it's all about the foreclosure moratorium. Well, let me give you Phil's take. The foreclosure moratorium, what's happened here is that three top lenders, GMAC, Chase, and Bank of America, have done something quite shocking. They have literally stopped all of the foreclosure proceedings across the country. That's a really big deal. Now, why have they done that? Apparently, there's going to be some investigations as to any shortcuts they may have done in the processing of foreclosure paperwork. Now, let's set that aside for a minute. Let's focus on how it impacts you as an investor. Well, number one, it means for the time being anyways, we don't know how long, there is no foreclosure proceedings for those three lenders, and they make up a large majority of all of the loans out there right now. So, if you are in the pre-foreclosure game at all, you know, short sales, loan modifications, even if you just take over payments, any of those types of investing strategies are working better now than ever before because these banks, again, GMAC, Chase, and Bank of America, they are unable to foreclose right now on their in-default loans, which means that they would rather do a short sale or a loan modification. They'd rather get these properties into a different state besides just sitting in limbo. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's a good reason. Now, the second thing is if you're working on any short sales or loan mods, things like that, and you had a foreclosure date coming soon, well, you can breathe a sigh of relief. And, you know, a lot of our students right now had that situation, so this has been kind of a nice little early Christmas present for them. Now they get the ability to stick the deal out a little bit longer and get it closed. So that's really good. If you're a homeowner right now and you're behind on payments, hey, I got a friend of mine who's in that situation. You know what? You get a couple weeks, maybe a couple months extra, you know, free. We don't have to worry about making house payments because it's, you know, the moratorium on foreclosures. So as an investor right now, it really is a good situation. Now, if you're doing the REO game, if you're doing the, you know, once the property goes back to foreclosure game, you know, in a couple of months, you're probably going to see where there's maybe a slowdown in the number of deals you're working on because these three lenders do make up a large majority of all the loans out there. But if you're in the pre-foreclosure game at all, short sales, loan mods, things of that nature, it's a great time to be investing. We've also been seeing, and this is number two, other thing we've been seeing out there right now is the buyers have been coming out of the woodwork again. You know, we saw a slowdown in the number of buyers for a little bit there in August, September, and in a little bit in July, and now we're starting to see some more buyers. And here's the, you know, the fruits of that. Jose's closing a deal up there in Chicago. It should be closing this week. Now, we tried to get Jose's deal closed about 2 weeks ago, and we had a little bit of a slowdown. The deal's going to make him a little over 80 grand, so he's had to kind of wait an extra 2 weeks. So, you know, I mean, you know, how hard is it to wait an extra 2 weeks for 80 grand, right? All right. So here's what happened. He bought the deal. It was a short sale. He bought the deal from the bank for $82,000. Did a great job of negotiating, and he's got a buyer at $170. Now the thing is he didn't do anything with the property. He didn't fix it up, nothing. So when he was reselling it, of course, the new buyer's underwriter said, well, how can this guy buy the property for $82 and then a week later sell it for $170 and not do anything to the property? So we've had to work with the underwriter and explain to them that he did a good job of negotiating with the distressed seller, things of that nature. So Jose's scheduled to close by the end of this week, make $80K. Congratulations, Jose in Chicago. Way to go, man. We've got some other deals that have closed recently. Tom in Kansas, he closed the deal in Michigan, and that was a long-distance deal, made $8K. Good job, Tom. Michelle in Nashville's closed quite a few deals recently. Just a lot of stuff going on. Those come on the top of my head. Quite a few more deals have closed as well. Now I want to get this off my chest. This is number three, okay? Now this is for people who are serious about making money in real estate. I'm going to be a little tough here, but I got to get this off my chest. This is a good forum to do it, so I'm going to go ahead and fire away. Pick up your phone. Sounds simple, right? You wouldn't believe how many people aren't doing that right now. We've seen like this growing decrease in the number of people who actually pick up their phone. And I gotta tell you, If you don't pick up your phone, you're going to miss opportunities. It's not if, it's when. Now, if you're already a gajillionaire and you already have all the money in the world, don't worry about picking up your phone. Now, I've got some friends who are also successful real estate people. They don't want to be doing what I'm doing, training and coaching and teaching others. They're just living the good life. You know, more power to them. You know, I really find, you know, I have a lot of enjoyment out of doing this. But, you know, they don't want to mess with that. So they've made all their money. They're happy. They don't pick up their phone. Cool. That's fine. But if you want to be successful and you're not there yet, you got to pick up your phone. Okay? Let me give you an example. We've got a student who's closing 2 deals the next week or 2. His name's Warnie Shaw. He's out of Chattanooga. And I got a message from one of our coaches that he's got some deals closing. I took a look at his deals in ePartner. I said, man, I need to give this guy a call, make sure he's got everything on track. So I gave him a call out of the blue. Okay, he didn't expect the call. He picked up his phone. And then I started talking to him about his deals. One thing led to another. That ended up being about a 1-hour conversation. 1 hour. It's totally unexpected. Why did he get that incredible opportunity? Because he picked up his phone. You got it. So he picked up his phone, and I walked him step by step through exactly what to do, how to handle the underwriter, what to do on each one of those deals, make sure both those deals close. Now, one's going to make about 8, one's going to make about 12, so together he's probably going to make about 20 on those 2 deals. Okay, not the 80 grand Jose in Chicago, but still 20K is 20K, as we say in Tennessee. Beats poke in the eye, right? So he was able to take advantage of an extra hour of coaching and training from me that most people don't get because he picked up his phone. See, what happened was, in any situation in life, if you've got a great opportunity, it doesn't usually come with the trumpets blaring and, you know, someone knocking your door down and waiting around for you. No. Opportunity comes subtle. It's a simple phone call. It's usually something simple. And if you're smart enough to take advantage of that, if you're smart enough to pick up that phone call, you can make a lot more money in life. You know, I can give you example after example after example of situations where people who have picked up their phone have just made more money. I personally love, let me give you some tools now. Now that I've told you to pick up your phone, let me give you some specifics. Okay, first of all, me, unless I'm on a video like this or I'm on an airplane, I'm usually picking up my phone. And then the other rare instances I'm on the other line. And if you've ever been on the phone with me, I usually beep over to get it. I pick up my phone, okay? But you may be in a different situation. Maybe you work 9 to 5. Maybe you've got a situation where you can't always pick up your phone. That's okay. Let's talk about how you do that. Now, what some business people do, and I respect this strategy, is when they say, they leave on their voicemail, you know, I return calls between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. and again from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Okay, that's a strategy. At least you've laid out a plan on when you're calling somebody back so they know how to get back in touch with you. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's one strategy. You know, some people, maybe you call back once a day on your drive back home from work. Maybe you call, you know, between the morning on your drive to work and on your drive back. But you've got to set a schedule and then stick to it. Okay, you've got to set a system for returning phone calls and stick to it. You've got to set a system so other people know when to call you to get you on the phone. Does that make sense? Picking up your phone makes a huge difference. Now I'm going to direct this at some of the folks in our organization. If you're just joining this group, oftentimes we have a coach call. Just out of the blue, it's not, you know, it's nothing that's really a part of your program, but we just call because we want to get you and, you know, get you going in the right direction. And you wouldn't believe how many people don't pick up their phone. These are coaches that are making a ton of money and can be the key to unlock your financial success. And there are people that are not picking up their phone. I'm talking 4 or 5 phone calls during a period of time where someone said they'd be available. Look, you've got to pick up your phone. Does that make sense? What happens when you pick up your phone? Opportunities arise. That's right. Now, if you're scared to pick up your phone, you're going to have to overcome that fear. You know, your comfort zone is always going to equal your money zone. So get out of your comfort zone and start picking up your phone. I've gone a little harsh on this, but look, I just had to get that off my chest. I actually do feel better now because now there's a lot of people that know my attitude on that. Pick up your phone. When you pick up your phone, it may be one of us if you're in a program calling. It could be a seller that needs to get rid of their property. It could be anybody. But, you know, phone calls are a little bit more work than an email. That's why I say pick up your phone. Now, as far as email, maybe you check that, you know, you set that like once a day. in the morning, you check them, or in the afternoon. You don't have to respond to emails all day, every day, because emails, anybody can send an email. It's a lot less intrusive, and a lot of people just just hit the forward, hit the reply, hit whatever button, okay? But calling takes a little bit more effort. They got to dial it, they've got to call it. So I believe you always pick up your phone. Now your emails you can check maybe once a day or whenever your schedule you want to do that. Does that make sense? All right, let's wrap up this investing report number one. The foreclosure moratorium is a great thing for the short sale and loan modification investors out there, anybody in the pre-foreclosure range, so really good things happening. Number two, buyers are starting to come out of the woodwork again. Deals are closing like crazy right now, a lot of great things happening. And number three, pick up your phone. All right, well, we'll talk to you next week.